I've never really done anything like this before, so forgive me for this, but recently started playing Dungeon Defenders again, and I thought might as well make a little guide from just based on some of the based on a build that I came up with for Tinkerer's Lab. I think it is I think it can work. Showing off some stats here as well here. I think it can work in a survival setting, but I will preface I am not a master builder or anything like that. I don't build things. I try to do the very bare minimum, the very bare basics to see what works for me. And I thought I'd do a little guide. I've this is all on DD Planner as well. I recently started using that website again. Yeah, just showing where I'm gonna place all the auras. Like every crystal. One around every crystal. The auras are quite large, so from the stats there, but yeah, this is mostly for a very basic build, in my opinion. This is you could probably get some decent godly stats. You could probably get like godly items and stuff like that. Probably get similar stats. Fish in a bowl definitely needed. Get a good roll on that on Moonbase, and then it's kind of great. Which I actually believe with some builds online is pretty easy to farm, which is really nice. That's it for our buff beams. That's it for our auras. I'm doing this commentary afterwards as well, so I have no idea. Actually, I don't record commentary. I'm gonna stumble over my words a lot. This is all gonna be in one take. Yeah. So all the auras are down. So the rest is just buff beams. These beams will be in place for these beams will buff the auras. They will also buff the lightning towers that we're going to place very soon. So okay, while we're building these, you can see everything that's going on. Actually, no, I'll explain in the combat phase what I was going to talk about. But I'm still kind of new to this whole thing, and I actually really want to kind of like be the new guy, you know, like kind of be the guy who's gonna talk and help out with some of the newer players with some builds that I'm coming up with myself, some things. I really want to do a lot of content on this game. Actually, I love it. I love this game so much. Was one of my favorite games when I played it way back in the day. Like, but when its demo first came out in like 2010, something like that. I picked it up immediately from the very start, like just 2-3 days after the demo released on the PlayStation Store. So it's a great game. But yeah, these proton beams on the stairs are actually quite important because mages and archers, they walk up these stairs here. They walk up them stairs, and they can deal with they can just outrange the auras unless you have like really big ones and stuff like that. So I'm just using all the rest of our mana here to place one more. There are some of the stats. I didn't show the EV stats, but I think I eventually do later on in the recording here. So yeah, one lightning tower here that can help deal with the, as we said, the archers and the mages coming up the stairs there. So yeah, swapping back to EV. There, the stats, some pretty nice stats there. I will say a lot of this build is quite low stats. This is quite a low stat build, mostly because I don't have much in terms of like really strong builder pets or really strong gear for building. But yeah, this is just me showing what I do for these waves. Like recently, very recently, I picked up myself a jester. I will say that I will preface this now. I don't know how long this video is going on for because I'm just recording over this until everything's built and we'll see some of the combat. But I will preface, I have never played jester in my life. This is the first time I'm ever playing jester. You'll notice I'm just going around using the mana gathering weapon, using the genie, gathering as much mana as I can, upgrading the buff beams, and then in every area as quick as I can. Wave over, pretty simple. The one issue, I did state this in DD Planner as well in the description, the one issue with this build is you need to run around quite a lot late in the later waves. Unless your auras are dealing like, unless you've got like 5k stats in auras and like 5k stats in Apprentice towers and things like that, then you are not really going to be DPSing a lot of the ogres and the copters and stuff like that. And this is on insane as well. I chose insane because my the strat works really, really well on insane. But also, I mostly chose insane because I am not strong enough to do nightmare difficulty at the moment, and I'm trying to build up my characters to like level 93 and things like that to get some really good ultimate and supreme gear to really build up the really get to some of the nightmare runs. I'm also fun fact, I'm trying to not progress as much in the game because I have a friend. Shocking, I know. I have a friend who's gonna play. Well, who was playing with me. We started from scratch a few weeks ago. Started from scratch, just trying to build trying to like grind it all again, and I was really happy with it, and I was having a grand old time. We started last week. Some stats on the defense Hermit here. This new character, very cool. Still also one of the weaker ones. My Apprentice, I think, is the lowest stat level for every for all my builders, which is unfortunate. I need to get a better roll on a fish, or possibly even treadmill on a treadmill if I can farm Moonbase properly for survival. I've not attempted that yet on Nightmare. I've not attempted it like at all, but yeah. I'll talk a little bit more about this in the combat phase, but I will say I'm not claiming to be some like goat at this game. You know, I'm not claiming to be some like guy who's played for years. Well, I've played for years, but I'm not claiming to be some guy who's like the greatest of all time or whatever, because there are much better guides. I want this to be as basic as possible, and I think this build is like the bare minimum. There's no minions, no tower stacking, nothing like that. So this is just the very basic strat that I came up with. Also, what I'm doing here, you may have to delay some of the physical beams especially, but you may have to delay the Hermit, the golems. You may have to delay the golems till next wave, because if you're doing this campaign on survival, you'll only have about just over 2.5 minutes. I don't actually remember. But yeah, you may have to delay that till the next wave and just try and ensure everything's working there. But yeah, this game I've played since I was a kid. I played since I was about 10 years old. Something like that. Like I say, 2010, 2011, I got the demo outright. I loved it so much. Foundation Forges. Played through that. I loved it. I loved like the style of it. I loved how cool it was on console. And I just thought, you know what? I want to play this more. I bought the game. I enjoyed every little bit of it on console. And then I stopped playing and like... No, I'll tell you what. I stopped playing after the Eternia Shards DLC came to an end. Because yeah, I played on Xbox 360. I think I mentioned PS3 before. We had both consoles. It was, I think I had it on both. I can't remember what I played on most, but me and my younger brother played it quite a bit. But yeah, we bought all of the Eternia Shards DLCs when they dropped. The day they dropped, like Misty Maya Part 1, Eternia Shards. We bought day of the drop. Things like that. We couldn't complete it. We had no idea what we were doing. We were too young. We had no idea what we were doing, and Sky City crashed every single time we tried to finish it, which is unfortunate. Here's me adding in some other characters. I believe, actually, yeah, I kind of forgot I was recording at this point. So I just wanted to add in some characters just to get them leveled, and I will fair warning, this starts to lag quite a bit a little later on, especially with the amount of enemies. But yeah, point is what I'm saying. I've played the game since I was very young. After the Eternia Shards DLC, I stopped playing till about 2019, 2020, around the time of lockdown. And me and my friend, same friend I was talking about before, we started playing from scratch again. We got through it. I remember coming home from school every day, waiting for them to hop on Discord, and we're like, "Oh, bro, we got this," like doing builds and like doing runs and stuff like that on PC. I'd never played on PC before. We were just doing the entire campaign. We were doing all the DLC and stuff like that, and we just stopped playing it for years until, like I say, about 2-3 weeks ago. Not even. Well, not even. Like, it was the start of this year. I was like, oh, Dungeon Defenders, brilliant game. Not played it in years. Would my friend be willing to give it a go? And he's like, yeah, I love the game. So we give it a go again, and we stopped playing again for about 2 months, and it was the start of last week. Yeah, the start of last week, me and my friend played again, pretty much from scratch. Like, our characters were like level 12 and things like that, so we just played it from scratch, and here we are. They unfortunately got a bit bored of it, and also a new Path of Exile update came out, so they are playing that. And I will say I'm recording this on the 4th of April, right now, 2024. All of this was recorded the same day here, so yeah, I've not played the new map, I've not played the new update. But the new update is in here. Yeah, so this is just all the basic stuff. I'm not gonna let this go on forever. This has already gone on for 11 minutes, but yeah, this is just basic stuff. Just all of this is basic. I'll try my best to summarize right here. Auras around every crystal are the most important. Auras around every crystal most important. The slow aura, the free stack aura, the usual. Like the strength drain, slowness, and electric aura. Really, really useful. Buff beam must in every aura. Lightning tower, I like to sit in every aura. In every buff beam, in every aura. So that's pretty ideal. If my stats were higher, this would be AFKable. And if I had a good enough summoner, you saw me put the summoner in. I was trying to level him up at this point. So I don't have a good enough summoner, unfortunately. I do not have a good enough summoner. But you can see the idea of the build. The physical beams stop the ogres, and the lightning towers zap all the ogres. They deal quite a bit of damage. Then the auras deal quite a bit of damage. There's a lot of stack damage on top of that. The issue, as I say, the stats are still kind of low. This is like 2k stats, 2k damage, 2k health, things like that on most of my stuff. And I will say, due to me playing on console for most of my life, I have never played the Jester, so I don't actually know. I recently created this character like 2-3 days ago, and I've just got them like fully leveled up. I was learning all of the stuff, how people do it. I was learning how people do it. So like the mana gathering stuff I didn't know about, and it's apparently a strat. So I went and looked up how it all worked, and I got myself a genie, got myself a lupine bow, all of that good stuff. So the basic general idea is this is every crystal is fine other than the 2 crystals on the right hand side of the map. So if I pulled up next time I pull up the map, it will be kind of it will be the right hand side. So where I am now, I'm on the left hand side. The other side of the map, both of those crystals have a massive copter and ogre problem, which is a little unfortunate. So what I'm trying to do pretty much every wave is I deal with the ogres at the top crystal, like I kill them, and I can get the mana for the Jester. I can get the mana, upgrade anything I need to on the way down. Then the rest is by the crystal slightly near the bottom. That was a great jump. Yeah, by the crystal slightly more near like the bottom hand side, that area gets pummeled by copter ogres, and there's nothing to protect the lightning tower down there. So I'm thinking maybe putting some minions down there once I have a better build for them. But this is a minionless build, minionless stackingless build. That is the idea. And it was also probably not a good idea to do this all in one take, but I hope this is helpful. This is a build I came up with completely on my own. I was talking to my friend, the one I've been talking about for the rest of this, a lot of this session here. I was talking to them. We were like, we need a better way to get XP. I looked it up. The best way to get XP, surprisingly, or one of the better earlier ways to get XP is the Tinkerer's Lab on Nightmare Hardcore, but since we're not strong enough to do Nightmare, we went for Insane, and I was trying to theory craft a build for this the whole time. I really couldn't. I was struggling, and then I started messing around with this, and I found out that this is probably the best way to do, well, in my opinion, pretty solid way to do this without tower stacking and without minions. Once I have a better summoner, I'm going to start putting in minions. It's going to be all grand, but yeah. Thanks for watching. This has gone on way longer than I wanted it to, but I hope this is a good beginner guide, I guess. So, thanks for stopping by, and enjoy.